Hello, everyone. It's a Wednesday. That means only one thing. It's time now for Supernatural News and Parashare here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. And boy, do we have a program for you today. Lots of news in the today to cover. I don't even know where to start. I know this much. As I look at my clock and we're taping, it's 1:11. That means either prosperity or doom. Um, I think maybe some prosperity. We've got some breaking news today that may set you back in your seat a little bit. We're going to start with that today. But first, we need to bring in our co-hostess today. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, the mistress of the macabre, the princess of the paranormal, the sister of the supernatural. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Mallie Fox. Hi, Mallie.
Hello.
Boy, it's going to be one of those days.
Yeah. Yes, it
Yeah,
will. Yes, it
yeah.
will be.
I filled you
Hey,
in.
can I just tell you real quick?
Yeah.
How did I get Wemaling and Ding Donged?
Oh yeah, okay. So what is this now? We gotta open with this.
I
I'm
know, super quick.
I'm
I
doom
was so pissed.
I'm doom scrolling as I'm celebrating my team finally winning a game, and I see Whamageddon on your status. What's going on?
I know it wasn't even that someone I knew. I was just minding on my own business looking at houses because I
Yeah,
love looking at old houses.
yeah.
And this person who I don't even know had the freaking song Last Christmas playing in the background.
Oh
Because all of a sudden
no.
I was like, and I went, oh, yes. I was pissed.
Ah, let's see.
Pissed. I didn't even get that far into the month.
I'm so sorry, my friend. Well, now you can enjoy the song. As
I
much as you
know.
want.
I know.
Got Whamageddon.
I know. I was bummed though. I thought I was going to get further along, but I was laughing at some people's comments. Like, I forget who it was, but someone commented that their own child, their own daughter, did it to them.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I think
because they wanted to listen to Christmas music.
I shared with you and Jess that listener of ours, his wife got him with a video. She played the video like on the TV, like, and he was sitting there and he's like, "Oh, come on!"
When you're done in by your own family member.
Right, right, and that's just bad, right? Yeah, but if you're playing along at home, we appreciate it. Again,
Yes.
Whamageddon, the rules are simple. You have until
Uh,
midnight on the 24th to try and stay away from Wham's version. Now it's Wham's version
yes.
of Last Christmas. If you can do
Yeah.
so until midnight of the 24th, again, you're free and clear. But if you hear the strains and you recognize it, again, you have to go on your social media, hashtag Whamageddon, and just admit. Again, it's Scout's honor. You just have to admit
Mhm.
that you've been caught.
Just stay off of Instagram. That's
Yeah.
where I got. That's where I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you do what you do. But
Yeah.
yeah. I
Stay
only
off of old houses on Instagram.
right. I just quickly go on and post the promo for the day and then I'm off. So
Hmm.
yeah, I do what I can to try to insulate myself. There's nobody and you know, nobody who's posting anything about the NFL is talking about Last Christmas. So
Right. Well, you're lucky there.
yeah. So that or wrestling. Nobody's humming along to Wham and talking about anything about the
Yeah.
WWE or AEW. So I think I'm pretty safe so far. Although if someone's posting about AEW and humming along to Wham, I'm done.
Yep.
So, yeah. But they're like, "Hey, Kenny Omega, check this out. It's Wham's video."
Yeah.
Then I'm done. But you know, but for now, I'm
You're
okay.
safe.
Now
Yeah.
the other
Don't go to the mall. Don't go to the mall.
oh it
You'll be screwed there.
again. I'm an online shopper.
Ah.
Yeah. Uh, again, folks, the other part of Whamageddon, don't be a dick. You can't send the video to people.
Yeah.
You can't send the video or the song to people. Again, it has to happen naturally in the wild. So you have to happen upon it on a Spotify playlist. It has to happen in the wild. So
Stay off elevators.
oh, right.
Yep.
Grocery stores.
Yeah.
That's,
Grocery stores, malls,
yep.
elevators,
Yep.
antique stores.
Yep. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
do go grocery shopping once a week.
Yep.
Kind of Fridays are going to be the worst.
Just wear earphones,
Right.
headphones.
Headphones and then listen to my own albums, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Timmy D sings the polka hits of Weird Al, not Weird Al, Frankie Yankovic. Yeah. It's my own rock hits done to it's rock hits of polka covers that I did. It's an old album from the 90s. So and they're horrible. And I'll never release it. It's just an album I made for me. What was the other thing I was going to mention? There's one other thing I was going to mention here today before we got started too. I had it in my head and I lost it now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I know.
Distracted you.
No. The Whamageddon thing, that was good. That needed to be mentioned. There was one other thing too here before we got started.
Was it regarding holidays?
No.
Do you have a story about the Jason Hawes thing? Was it about that?
No. Oh, what about the Jason Hawes thing?
About the lady's sister saying about the power of attorney with Jason Hawes?
No, what is that? Tell please.
Well, I kind of brushed over it. Like she's now, I don't know if she like is taking him to court, but something about like her sister was not in the right state of mind, giving Jason Hawes the power of attorney to turn over the house to him. It's on Facebook.
What? Really?
Yeah, you'll have to look it up because I just glanced over because I figured you'd probably be talking about it.
Does this have to? Oh, no.
And then he came up with a story. I can't remember, but saying basically she's wrong. So, but yeah, the sister is now involved of the lady
of Andrea Perron.
No, not of Andrea, of the lady that owns the house.
Oh, Jacqueline.
Yeah, but her sister is now saying that she wasn't in the right state of mind because I guess she gave Jason power of attorney.
I think I have it right here. The Conjuring home fight sparks lawsuit against Ghost Hunters star Jason Hawes. Okay, well, let's get into this. Well, we'll do this first then, as we launch into supernatural news today, and then we'll get to our AI news because, boy, is it, or not AI news, interstellar news because, boy, is there some interesting alien news that we want to talk about today. The story that Mallie's talking about is that the Conjuring House saga has escalated. The homeowner's sister has filed a lawsuit against multiple people, including Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters star Jason Hawes, alleging her sister, Jacqueline Nunez, is who Mallie's talking about, wasn't mentally competent when she handed over the rights to sell the famous home for at least $1.3 million. Elizabeth Greenhog, I believe it is, of Utah, is asking a Rhode Island Superior Court judge to block the never-before-seen agreement triggered in October when Nunez is alleged to have signed over a limited power of attorney to Hawes' associate, Julia DeMay, to do all things necessary with respect to the sale of the home with Jason Hawes. According to the lawsuit, DeMay and Hawes told Nexstar's WPRI they had not yet received the complaint and declined to comment further. I think this is, now we're going a couple steps forward because I think this is kind of the things that Jay said were in the hopper.
Yes.
And it's being exposed now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The lawsuit reveals what's been happening behind the scenes at the 18th century farmhouse, which sparked international interest last year after Nunez fired an employee, claiming the spirit of the home's 18th century owner told her an employee was stealing. Since then, multiple famous people have been jockeying to buy the property, which Nunez had turned into a successful tourist attraction before losing her entertainment license a year ago. Hawes has been raising money through GoFundMe to purchase the home, an effort spurred by Andrea Perron, who requested on social media that he save the home. Now, the 2013 blockbuster The Conjuring was based on the Perron family's supernatural experience living in the farmhouse in the 1970s. A buying war erupted after Nunez stopped making payments on the loan that she used to buy the home for $1.5 million in 2022. The bank initially put the home up for auction, scheduled for Halloween, but a company controlled by YouTuber Elton Castee purchased the underlying note beforehand, effectively canceling the highly anticipated event. Remember, I told you that I thought there was a little bit of a
Yes.
partnership going on here. I
Uh-huh.
thought maybe Jason would come in after the note was purchased.
Yep.
Aha, right?
Yep.
Just call me psychic. As it stands now, Casty's company owns the debt, and DeMay has entered and will soon enter into an agreement to sell the property to Hawes. Casty and comedian Matt Rife have been trying to buy the home separately from Hawes, which comes in the wake of him buying the Warren house in Connecticut featuring the infamous Annabelle doll. Now, Casty, and that's Casty I'm talking about, Casty, whose company is named as an interested party in the lawsuit, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Now, to give you an idea why Casty has a claim to the home, and legally he does have a claim to the home, it's because he bought the note. And according to the laws of that state, once you buy the note, you do have a claim to the property, which I don't think a lot of people realize that. But if there's an agreement in play that if Casty takes care of the note, there can be an agreement then at that point between either the bank and Hawes or a third party and Hawes to purchase the property and the land. Well, then that can happen, right? Or it can go back up for auction, one or the other. Green High alleged Nunez was legally incompetent and not of sound mind when she signed over the rights to DeMay to sell the home. She accused Hawes of conspiring with DeMay and leading a concerted effort to acquire the property, despite knowing Nunez was unwell. Forgive me for saying this. I'm gonna take a small time out in this story.
Okay.
Wasn't Jacqueline going after Jason online for the longest time?
Yes.
So why would her sister be saying, well, she's unwell and there's a conspiracy going on here if there's a business deal going on? Because supposedly they don't like each other.
Right.
Right? I don't buy that one bit.
I know, it's so messed up.
Yeah. It says here, Green High wrote in the lawsuit, adding that Nunez has suffered from various delusions. She says, Nunez told me on multiple occasions that she would never sell the property, especially not to Hawes. She says that Nunez has suffered from various delusions over the past year that include accusing Green High and her husband of having engaged in criminal activity that has absolutely no basis in reality. Now, Nunez, who didn't immediately respond to a request for comment, has repeatedly told WPRI that she would never sell the property. Hawes and Nunez have butted heads in the past, as I just mentioned. Hawes filed a police report in 2024 asking for a restraining order against Nunez, alleging she was harassing him and his family, and had come up with a twisted theory that he was plotting to kill her. Hawes, who has said he's only seeking to buy the home because of Perron's request, posted on Facebook that the lawsuit does not change the direction we are moving. In complex property transactions, particularly those involving long histories and multiple parties, filings and delays are not unusual, he wrote. Some arise naturally through the process, and some may extend timelines in ways that benefit other parties involved. We remain fully transparent and are continuing to handle everything through the appropriate legal channels. I cannot comment on motives at this time, he added. Now, in all fairness, we need to point out this isn't just Jason. Okay? Even though Green High is filing this lawsuit against Jason.
Yes.
It's not Jason's house.
Right.
The minute this house is purchased, it goes into a trust. It's run by a board. There are more hands here than just Jason. Jason is the fulcrum that runs the machine. Jason's the guy who put the GoFundMe up to get people interested in buying the house. Essentially, he's wanting to turn it over to a board that ran this house when it was the most successful. He wants nothing to do with it. He's essentially the head of the machine that runs this thing. But
right.
He's backing away the minute it's purchased. So again, you can sue Jason all day long if you want. In the end, he's really not going to be a part of this. So I don't know. I don't know what the point is, right? He's offered to put up matching funds,
Mhm.
right? And still have a part of it, but it's an inactive part, much like being an investor. No, and what Elton Casty's part would be in this, again, and Elton Casty, it seems to me, has a conflicting part in this because I think originally when he said he would come in and buy the note, he was only going to be one part of this and that he was just going to clear the note and clear the way for this consortium to come in and buy the property.
Mhm.
But now it seems like he's going back on that. Now he's saying he wants the house.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
That's not good business.
Nope.
More to come, right?
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Thank you for bringing that up, Mel.
No problem. I figured you saw it, so you were going to have it in your news.
No, this was updated as of this morning. So, interesting. I guess the drama continues. I think that
Yep.
all came out without Jason knowing. So, or I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
sorry.
no, Jason, he responded. I didn't listen. I didn't watch his response.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying it came. It came. I didn't state that right. I think I'm not saying he didn't know. I'm saying he knew it all. But I think it came out. This all came out without him wanting people to know.
Yes,
Um,
yes, exactly. Because
yeah.
he's been kind of telling everyone, there's things working behind the scenes. Just be
Mhm.
patient. I'll let you know. And then
Right.
all of a sudden, boom! Like she opens up.
Yep.
Yeah.
He didn't want all this out in the open yet because
Yes.
he wanted to basically knowing Jay as
Have everything ducks in a row to be
right.
able to say, okay, this is what we're doing.
Right. He wanted to release it all at the same time and just announce the
Yes.
house has been bought. Congratulations, everybody. You now own the house.
Right.
Right. And have it be you own the house and then announce this is the board that's going to run it. This is how it's going to be done. And he wanted everything in a row so that people would know exactly how things are going to run.
Yes.
Now it looks messy.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And that's not how Jay does things.
Correct.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
yeah. Yeah. And I don't blame him if he's a little ticked off about it.
Right.
Yeah. But see, a lot of times, how should I put
And
that?
why is the sister involved? I mean, does she think that they're going to get more money from a developer or something? I mean, she has no stake in it. She's not,
Well, that's,
you know what I mean?
I think that's exactly what's going on here, Mallie. See what she doesn't realize though is that the property's been foreclosed on. There's nothing to be made here.
Right.
Jacqueline's not going to make money here. This property's been taken from her. There's no entertainment license there for her to make money on.
Yeah.
Right?
She stopped making payments.
That's right. The entertainment license is gone from her.
Yep.
The only way this is going to be resuscitated is by another party.
Yeah.
So I don't know what delusions of grandeur she has here. Even if she were to come in with a couple $1 million and some investors,
Maybe that's it.
but see, they're going to say I'm trying to find a politically correct way of putting this. You're, you're just an apple that fell off that tree.
Yeah.
There's no way the city or the municipality is going to look at her and go, well, you're just an offshoot of Jacqueline. Why should we even give you the license back?
Yeah.
We don't think you're any better than her.
Yeah.
So why would we? They're going to
Gonna make her take a psychological test.
yes, thank you. Thank you for putting it that way. Um they're not going to deal with her. You know,
Yeah.
they're going to deal with somebody, one, either that has the prestige or two has the money, one or the other,
Yes.
right? They're either going to, if it's a developer that comes in and is going to bulldoze the whole thing and open up a golf course, they'd take that. If it's someone who's going to bulldoze the entire thing, put up a data center, they take that. Or if it's someone who's going to come in with prestige, whether it be Elton Cassie and Matt Rife, and is going to put money into it and be stable and bring in tourism, or it's Jay Hawes and the paranormal community that's going to support it and be stable, then yes. they'll give the entertainment license back.
Yeah.
But it's not going back into Jacqueline Nunez's hands. That's that ship ain't sailing. It ain't floating.
Right.
So I don't know what she thinks she's. I can't see any judge saying that has merit. That's getting thrown out. So it's a meritless suit.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? Unfortunately, I think for Andrea and for Jay and for everybody who's put money into that GoFundMe, I think now the thing you've got to worry about is now Elton has the note, and now maybe he's having second thoughts.
Right.
Because he does have legal claim to the property now. And how do you convince him to get back on board with the original plan? That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that everything comes back together the way it's supposed to come back together.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Gosh, I wish I remembered what that is. See, that happens when you got all these things going on today.
Right.
I wish I remember what that other point is. Maybe I'll think of it before the end of the program. We should just jump right into interstellar news because oh boy, have we got stuff going on today, Mallie. If I were to say to you, the federal government, the president himself might be bringing us Christmas in December, you might say, well, Tim, that makes sense. Christmas is in December. Maybe they may be wishing you a Merry Christmas to all ufologists out there and an early Christmas at that, Mallie, because disclosure may be on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting story that's developed over the past 24 hours. And you may say, well, Tim, maybe you're reaching here, but interesting couple of things have happened over the last couple of days here, my friend. And I'm going to start with this story and build back.
Okay.
David Grusch was on Fox News a couple of days ago. And in there, boy, did he blow the doors open on something huge. He went on and said that President Trump had been fully briefed on alien hybrids living among humans, among other things, in his first term. He's known about it all along. Ta-da! What?
But I think he's told people though that he's known, but he was told not to tell people.
But he's never come out and said, "Oh, I know all about it."
Oh, I thought he had though.
No,
but his people told him not to.
I don't think he's said it so much, but he's done some things that have made you wonder.
Oh, okay.
Everybody kind of, I shouldn't say everybody, but his political opponents and pundits kind of giggled when he formed Space Force. And they're like, why would you do that? Right? It's kind of silly. What do we need to defend from space? But if you know the whole story, maybe there's a reason. Right? Mm-hmm. And he did that pretty early in his term, his first term. All of a sudden he said, we're setting up Space Force. Everybody's like, Space Force? What the heck? What are we doing this for? Right? But let's hear it from David Grusch himself as to maybe why he did this. So President Trump has allegedly been fully briefed on what the U.S. government has been keeping secret about UFOs and alien life living among humans. He's gotten the whole kit and caboodle. In a recent interview, whistleblower and retired U.S. Air Force Major David Grusch claimed that Trump has received reports on crashed spacecraft and non-human remains retrieved by the U.S., the origin of these beings, and their intentions. So he got the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Grusch, a current advisor to Congress's UAP task force, said the president could soon become the most consequential leader in world history by publicly disclosing what America has kept hidden about extraterrestrials. So he's going to come forward and disclose all. That's a pretty big statement. Mm-hmm. Members of this current administration are very well aware of this reality. Certainly, the current president is very knowledgeable on the subject, Grusch told Fox News. To this point, previous White Houses, the U.S. military, and even NASA have all denied that humans have made contact with alien life or have ever recovered extraterrestrial technology from crashed UFOs. No physical evidence has ever been presented publicly that would back up the stories by countless civilians, scientists, and military personnel over the decades who claim to have seen or interacted with beings from another world. However, Grusch said that the U.S. military had not only recovered UFOs and alien bodies, but he personally viewed intelligence reports, data, and even pictures of non-human bodies with his own eyes. The whistleblower also allegedly told members of Congress that Trump was even briefed during his first term about the existence of multiple alien races and how one species has even been crossbreeding with humans. So he knows it all.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da! Grusch has even spent 14 years in the Air Force before working as an intelligence officer for the National Reconnaissance Office, or NRO, which builds and launches surveillance satellites for the Pentagon. From 2019 to 2021, he represented NRO on the UAP task force, but eventually became a whistleblower after allegedly learning that the elements of the U.S. government had prevented congressional oversight on matters related to extraterrestrials. In 2023, he testified before Congress, claiming that the secret government departments had been running UFO retrieval and reverse engineering programs for decades. He just needed to tell somebody about it, right? When asked if he would declassify the files about aliens on the Lex Fridman podcast in September 2024, then candidate Trump said, "Sure, I'll do that. I would do that. I'd love to do that. I have to do that." Well, now's as good a time as any, right?
I agree.
Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson previously echoed Grusch's statements, revealing the alleged existence of at least 4 alien species humans secretly know about. Burleson added that Grusch had briefed the president on the existence of a race known as the Nordics, which we're all familiar with, which are generally human in appearance with fair skin and blonde hair, who have created alien-human hybrids. There's a congressman talking about the Nordics now.
Mm-hmm.
He, Grusch, said that the Nordic aliens are like a few hundred years more advanced than we are, but they're not super advanced, Burleson said during an Space interview on June 27th. He says that there are aliens that are crossbreeds living in this world. The congressman added, noting that Grusch did not have an answer when asked how humans would be able to tell if someone was an alien-human hybrid. Now, Burleson, who appointed Grusch to the government's UAP committee, added that the Air Force veteran described another alien race called the Greys as beings thousands of years more advanced than humans. According to Grusch's reports, these aliens who were shorter with gray skin and large black eyes were responsible for sightings of craft that defied gravity and controlled technology using their minds. As for whether these aliens were peaceful or coming to Earth with hostile intentions, Grusch revealed last month that the U.S. has been seeing a mixed bag of activity with them. We can't quite understand the intent of some of the sentients or why they're visiting. Could it be because we have interesting genetic material on Earth? We're a Jurassic Park tourist attraction for them. It could be a myriad of reasons, he told Brett Baer of Fox News back on November 21st. The UAP advisor added that the U.S. was in a secret arms race with Russia and China, who have also captured and crashed alien spacecraft and have been working to reverse engineer that technology. Although Grusch believed Trump may soon decide to release the classified reports on extraterrestrial programs and encounters, the president has previously said he was a skeptic when it comes to UFO conspiracies. He went on to say people who are very smart and very solid have said they believe there is something out there, and it makes sense that there could be. I've never been convinced, even despite that, just for some reason, it's not my thing, Trump told the Impulsive podcast on June 2024. That's the one that's hosted by Logan Paul.
Okay.
Despite the skepticism, Grusch claimed that the White House was motivated to do the right thing in terms of disclosing all the whistleblower information Congress has been investigating regarding UFOs. Interestingly enough, there's a news story here Mallie, that I had talked to you about before the show.
Uh-huh.
Now, I was watching, I believe it was a week or two ago on 60 Minutes, a story about an interesting little prop bet website by the name of Polymarket. And I may try to post the story, the link to the story on the 60 Minutes website because it's incredibly interesting. Now, if you're familiar with Polymarket, you know what it is. Polymarket is a popular online prediction platform that has predicted everything from when Joe Biden would drop out of the presidential race to exactly when President Trump would win his second term in office, to what sports teams are going to win what games, and they do it incredibly accurately. But even so, I want you to keep this in mind as I read this next story. When they predicted that President Trump would win his second term, it was only at a 73% chance. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So 73%. I want you to keep that in mind as I read this next story. Trump UFO disclosure predicted to come in just days after a mysterious insider tip. This just developed over the last 2 days as we read this. Now, keep in mind, we tape this on Tuesday for Wednesday, right? For a Wednesday air. The odds of President Donald Trump revealing what he knows about alien life have suddenly skyrocketed, according to leading experts who believe full public disclosure is just days away. Now, by the time this hits your hot, steamy little ears, it may or may not have happened. My guess, may not.
Really?
May not. But
Okay.
you never know. You may already know about disclosure by the time you hear this story. Who knows? A wagering pool on Polymarket called Trump Declassifies UFO Files in 2025 has mysteriously exploded with activity, rising to over a $7 million bet, shifting the odds from 6% yes on December 6th. Wasn't that far away.
Right.
To a staggering 98% this morning. That's 3 days, Mallie. 93% in 3 days.
Right.
Now, what caused this activity to all of a sudden skyrocket? Now, Grusch was just on Fox News. It's not the first interview Grusch has done. And he did say President Trump is known since his first term, but if he's known since his first term that aliens are around and all this is happening, it's not a new thing. So what's sparking this activity? Let me tell you. Again, I told you the Polymarket is a popular online prediction platform. People bet on the outcomes of real-world events such as elections, sports, even UFO sightings, and they use cryptocurrency when they do it and turn speculation into a crowdsourced probability meter. In this UFO market, the odds flip dramatically because of a sudden surge in betting volume, likely fueled by rumors, insider tips, and viral buzz, causing the share prices to, and again, you buy shares in this bet when you invest in this particular bet on Polymarket. So it caused share prices to rocket as more people piled in on the yes side. Again, 6% to 93% in just 3 days. In fact, UFO researcher and filmmaker Mark Christopher Lee told the Daily Mail he's convinced the recent trading in favor of Trump releasing UFO files has been sparked by someone with access to the White House. Someone on the inside is pumping up the price. 98%. Even Trump winning the White House was only at 73% before he clinched it. And that was with insider polling that said that Trump was going to win. %98% that this is going to be released.
It's pretty high.
Lee explained, I think someone on the inside close to Trump knows this and has been buying, hence the rise. Someone on the inside is trying to make some money. To this point, previous White Houses, the U.S. military, and even NASA have all denied that humans have encountered UFOs, recovered crashed spaceships, and made contact with alien life. While Trump has remained skeptical about the existence of UFOs, like we said, he has repeatedly promised to release whatever his administration has discovered to the public. Now, on Sunday, a string of aggressive purchases by a small group of traders triggered a surge of confidence that an announcement of UFOs was coming. Some Polymarket users betting on Trump's promise to disclose the information have bought over $20,000 worth of Yes shares in a single trade this week. It's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Right? The mysterious event that sent the Polymarket pool soaring after December 6th is yet to be identified. Since Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, more than $5 million has poured into the UFO wagering pool, sending the total wager to over $7.3 million. Somebody knows something.
Yep.
My bet, and now, and I was showing you the chart here, Mel, and I'm going to show the audience here if they're watching on video. It explodes on December 7th. And it explodes up to about 90%. Then it backs down to about 80%. And then it explodes back up to 90% and goes up to 98%, all within a day. You can't explain this. It's almost like, and again, I think we can all admit, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, that President Trump has a way of saying, we're going to do it, and then going, well, I don't know. And then going, oh, we're going to do it. And then he sets his mind and they do it. And when they do it in a hurry.
Right.
And it gets done.
Do you think they do it in a hurry so that they don't change their mind or no one can stop them?
That's right. So no one can stop him. Because he's that, when he sets his mind to something, he's that decisive. And they do it, they get it done. Look at every action he's done so far. And whether you agree with it or not, it's not a political show.
Right.
When he sets his mind to it, they do it, right? When he enacted Doge, he did it. When he enacted this stuff with ICE, he did it. When he enacted this stuff with changing the stuff in the White House, he did it. It's just, we're going to do it. We get it done. Executive actions. He does it. He gets it done. Fact of the matter is, if he's going to do disclosure, he's going to do it and get it done. But somebody on the inside knows. And my guess is, now, keep in mind, there's a little movie called Age of Disclosure out there.
Yep. I just saw it advertised.
Yep. You can watch it on Amazon Prime right now. One of his cabinet, Marco Rubio, is in that movie. My guess is someone around Marco Rubio's staff knows that this is going to happen. And someone around that department has put the money in Polymarket. And they know what's happening. They know the president's going to come out, or at least he has intentions.
Right.
And it's almost a sure thing. If it's not a sure thing, it's almost a sure thing, or they have plans to come out and say something before the holiday. Now, keep in mind, there's one other note in here to give you an idea, and this is just a measuring stick. Okay. Polymarket gave keep in mind, the Epstein files are supposed to be released. There's been some red action going on of the Epstein files. They gave a number of, and there's a deadline date of December 19th for the Epstein files. They gave a number of 62% of the Epstein files actually being released by December 19th in full. A very realistic number. 98%. Keep that in mind. Somebody.
Right.
Yep.
I feel like though it's almost illegal for someone. It feels like it's almost like insider trading. You know what I mean? How they're the ones releasing it, but yet they can make a buck off of it.
But see, because it's cryptocurrency, Mallie, and it's not regulated by the stock market, anything can happen. That's the draw of Polymarket. And that's why it's so hot right now. I think I'm going to try and find this story on 60 Minutes and try to post the link in the description of this program. It's a fascinating story because it's gotten so hot. It's gotten hot amongst the younger generation because you can place a prop bet very quickly, and you can make money very quickly, depending on timing. But the bets come fast and furious, right? And we become a betting society. I don't know why, but it's almost like we're trying to. It's like we're all closet psychics, or we're all armchair psychics, right? We all think we know what the outcome of things are going to be.
Yeah, but that's dangerous. That could be addiction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is. We're addicted as a society to betting. Completely. And I mean, you look at the gambling industry right now, it's almost out of control. I mean, you look at the rate of the gambling industry, online gambling industry right now, and how it's growing. It's out of control. People can place a bet from their phone right now for anything. And addiction centers right now are off the chart right now with treatment centers are of people who are reporting gambling addictions. It's an epidemic right now. It really is. And I hate to say, it's the dopamine hit, right? It's the excitement of thinking, if I just get that one horse to come in, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
The one thing to come in, and I can change my chances. That one hit, right? That one thing happens to me, I can change my outlook. And it's that pie in the sky dream. It's what we built America on, right? If I can go from my everyday job of just slogging along, making so much money, to all of a sudden it's, we're on easy street. But is it really that simple? There's something to be said about, making a living and building it honestly or earnestly. Right. But I don't know. But it's that quick money, that promise of quick money that keeps people in it. So, but I just thought that was an interesting story. The combination of Grusch coming out and saying, not only does President Trump know, but now Polymarket says it's coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Polymarket's been deadly accurate.
Yeah. So Christmas, we could know if there's really aliens or not.
Yep. We could know. And not only that, but evidence could be put forward. Not only an announcement that they're here and we know about it, but here's your evidence. That would be something.
Yeah.
But then do you have skeptics and naysayers that say, okay, you told us, but why did you tell us?
Yeah, true.
It's one of those, well, is this a smoke screen for something else?
Oh, true. Yeah. Is it going to hide something major? Because we'll be so distracted.
Well, again, I just kind of gave you the reason why, December 19th is a big deal too. So, maybe there's a reason why we learn about aliens before December 19th, but you never know. It's kind of fun, but it's you never know.
Yeah.
All right, onward with the interstellar news. I think we've spent enough time on that story, but it's kind of an exciting venture, to say the least. Hubble has captured a new photograph of that interstellar visitor known as 3-Eye Atlas. I can hear Avi Loeb screaming like a little girl from here.
He's got to stay relevant somehow.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's over there going, look at the spaceship. The long-lived space telescope captured a beautiful, clear image of the object using its wide-field camera 3 instrument. It would Be no exaggeration to say that 3I Atlas, an interstellar object that was discovered earlier this year, hurtling through our solar system, has become something of an obsession for some. While most scientists agree that the object is a comet, Avi, it's a comet. Others, including Harvard astronomer Professor Avi Loeb, think that its unusual characteristics and behavior may be more indicative of a spacecraft sent by some distant extraterrestrial civilization. Now, NASA has published a brand new image of 3I Atlas captured by the Hubble Space Telescope. At the time, the comet was about 178 million miles from Earth, NASA wrote. Hubble tracked the comet as it moved across the sky. As a result, background stars appear as streaks of light. Hubble previously observed 3I Atlas in July, shortly after its discovery, and a number of NASA missions have since studied the comet as well. Observations are expected to continue for several more months as 3I Atlas heads out of the solar system. While there's nothing new here to indicate an artificial origin for the object, the photograph does serve to maintain widespread interest in this enigmatic and stunning interstellar interloper. Now, if you'd like, I can show you what this amazing spaceship looks like here, Mal. This is it here trying to take over our planet.
Right.
Yeah, as you can tell, it's not a spaceship. It's just a comet. It's funny. The Hubble came out with that picture on December 5th, and I have yet to hear Avi Loeb scream, "Look at the spaceship coming at us."
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Although I'm sure he'll come up with something. Give him a few days. Because it is leaving our solar system as we speak, but yet he isn't flagging it back going, "Come back, Shane, come back."
Yeah.
Right. It's just funny how that works. I wonder if he's going to eat, how much crow he's going to eat at the end of this deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of fun to think about. Our next story has to do with Mars. Protection from cosmic rays is essential for the first human on Mars. Otherwise, we could have a real life Fantastic Four. Wouldn't that be fun? I always wondered it when I was a kid, if that whole thing could really happen, because I was a big comic book fan, right? Big comic book geek, and supposedly it was cosmic rays that turned the Fantastic Four into who they were. So I always thought, hey, is that a real thing? Because if so, I kind of want to sign up for space travel.
Which Fantastic Four member would you want to be, though?
Definitely Mr. Fantastic. I want certain body parts to be able to stretch to a couple of feet long. You never want to be Ben Grimm. You never want to be the Thing. You never want.
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
Yeah. And I mean, to be invisible, that'd be kind of cool too. But
right.
But you never want to burst into flame, and you never want to be the Rocky guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic, that guy,
yeah,
you got the deal, right? Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, that's my boy right there.
Yeah. Like, are you happy to see me?
Gee, I don't know. I'm touching you from across the room. What do you think?
Yeah.
Right? Yep. See, that's what I'm saying. In this particular story, they're worried about cosmic rays, of course, and they say traveling to Mars is difficult enough, but is the deadly radiation that could be the real deal breaker in this whole deal? There's a scientist by the name of Zahida Sultanova, who says the first step on the moon was one of humanity's most exciting accomplishments, and now scientists are planning return trips and dreaming of Mars and beyond. And next year, NASA's Artemis II mission will send 4 astronauts to fly around the moon and test the spacecraft before future landings. Unless, of course, you believe we're faking it all, then they're not going to do that at all. My little shot at people who think we fake the moon stuff. Yeah. The following year, 2 astronauts are expected to explore the surface of the moon for a week as part of NASA's Artemis III mission. And finally, the trip to Mars is planned for the 2030s. But there's an invisible threat there standing in the way, and that's cosmic rays. But again, is it really? When we look at the night sky, we see stars and nearby planets. And if we're lucky enough to live somewhere without light pollution, we might catch meteors sliding across the sky. But cosmic rays, consisting of protons, helium nuclei, heavy ions, and electrons, remain hidden. They stream in from exploding stars, galactic cosmic rays. Cosmic rays, man, I'm telling you, there's got to be something in there for me. I'm dreaming about it right now.
I was going to say a man can dream.
Right. And our very own sun, solar particle events, all that's involved in there. They don't discriminate, and I'm glad. I just got a little thumbs up for that. These particles carry so much energy and move so fast that they can knock electrons off atoms and disrupt molecular structures of any material. That way, they can damage everything in their path, machines and humans alike. The Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere shield us from most of this danger, but outside Earth's protection, space travelers will be routinely exposed. In deep space, cosmic rays can break DNA strands, disrupt proteins, and damage other cellular components, increasing the risk of serious diseases such as cancer. Now, we don't want that. Again, if you can make me stretch.
Yeah. Stretching good, cancer no.
Yeah, cancer bad, stretching awesome. Ideally, scientists would study these effects by sending tissues, organoids, artificially made organ-like structures, or lab animals such as mice directly into space. That does happen, but it's expensive and difficult. A more practical approach is to simulate cosmic radiation on Earth using particle accelerators. Cosmic ray simulators in the US and Germany expose tissues, plants, and animals to different components of cosmic rays in sequence. A new international accelerator facility is being built in Germany. Boy, that sounds like trouble to me. Which will reach even higher energies, matching levels found in space that have never been tested on living organisms. Does that seem like trouble to you?
Maybe just a tiny.
It's kind of like the CERN accelerator at one time seemed like trouble to me, like we're going to open up a black hole in the middle of the Earth.
Yeah.
Big deal, yeah. But these simulations aren't fully realistic, it says here. Many experiments deliver the entire mission dose in a single treatment. This is like using a tsunami to study the effects of rain, which is understandable. In real space, cosmic rays arrive in a mixture of high-energy particles hitting simultaneously and not one type at a time. According to the scientists, their colleagues have studied and suggested building a multi-branch accelerator that could fire several tunable particle beams at once, recreating the mixed radiation of deep space under controlled laboratory conditions. For now, though, this kind of facility exists only as a proposal. But they're suggesting testing before actually going out into space and actually getting it alone. Or, I'm sorry, getting it all at once, getting up there and then finding out the effects. Mm-hmm. There's another strategy which focuses on supporting organisms' own stress responses. They're talking about starvation and heat, driving organisms to evolve cellular defenses that protect DNA and other cellular components. They're talking about things like diet and drugs, offering additional protections in space to cosmic rays. Physical shields alone, they say, won't be enough. There's biological strategies to help protect from cosmic rays as well. They say the ultimate goal in the journey beyond Earth's protective bubble, without the constant threat of invisible high-energy particles damaging our bodies and the spacecraft, is to figure out before we get out there what we can do to protect ourselves as much as possible, because after all, we don't have the Earth to protect us. So kind of an interesting little deal. After all, life isn't the Fantastic Four. Although I wish it were.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I would like to be Mr. Fantastic. I guess that's what I take out of the story.
Yeah.
Our next story has to do with a major fire damaging a building at the site of Roswell's infamous Hangar 84.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, the facility, which remains heavily connected to the Roswell UFO incident, has been damaged in a major fire. Maybe they're trying to get rid of the evidence of the aliens before Trump tells us about it.
Exactly. They didn't do a very good job, though, of hiding it. Let's do a major fire. That won't draw any attention whatsoever.
I got an idea. Whoosh. They don't.
Yeah, exactly. It was wiring. Bad wiring.
Yeah, bad wiring. Exactly. Firefighters rushed to the scene last week when the Roswell Air Center, home to the infamous Hangar 84, where the U.S. military was said to have once stored debris and alien bodies retrieved from the legendary UFO crash in 1947, went up in flames. The alarm was raised at around 7:55 p.m. on Thursday evening, prompting concerns about possible explosions due to the nearby storage of hazardous materials and oxygen bottles. Fortunately, nobody was injured, but the cause of the fire remains unclear. Whoosh.
Yeah.
The blaze has since sparked conspiracy theories, suggesting that someone had been trying to destroy evidence connected to the infamous 1947 Roswell UFO incident. See, I'm not crazy, Mallie. Told you. While the Roswell Air Center itself didn't exist at the time, Hangar 84, which is where the debris and bodies were said to have been stored, remains part of the facility to this day. The likelihood of anything significant still being kept there now, however, remains very low. The original incident began in 1947 when William Brazel, a foreman working on the Foster homestead, discovered a quantity of strange debris spread out approximately 30 miles north of Roswell. He returned with his family to gather some of it up, but after hearing reports of flying discs, he decided to mention it to Sheriff George Wilcox. Wilcox then spoke to RAAF Major Jesse Marcel, who, alongside Captain Sheridan Cavett, came to examine the debris for himself. After collecting some of the material, Marcel took it to Colonel William Blanchard, who in turn reported the incident to General Roger Ramey at Fort Worth. In an official announcement on July 8th, Public Information Officer William Haught declared that a flying disc had been found in the area. By the time the story had been broadcast on Roswell radio station KSWS, the news had reached the Associated Press and word had begun to spread fast. And the rest, as they say, is history. And then some Yahoo decided to try and burn it up last week.
Yep.
Because that's kind of how things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Another unusual story here, Mallie. An Area 51 scientist's staggering deathbed claim that he had worked with aliens for years. All this stuff is kind of flooding out this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like setting us up.
Right. See, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Boyd Bushman, a respected scientist who worked at Area 51 for Lockheed Martin, made a staggering deathbed claim that he had worked with aliens his entire life and even had photos to prove it. Mm-hmm. All this stuff is coming out. One esteemed Area 51 person sent shockwaves around the world when he disclosed on his deathbed that he had collaborated with extraterrestrials throughout his career. Boyd B. Bushman was born in 1936 in Arizona, passed away at age 78 in 2014. His family encouraged him to follow a scientific path, and he earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Brigham Young University, specializing in math and physics. Climbing the ranks to become a senior scientist and engineer for notorious defense firm Lockheed Martin, Boyd ultimately landed himself a role at Area 51, according to the BBC. During his 4-decade stint, he also served with... I love ads, by the way. He also served with Hughes Aircraft, General Dynamics, and Texas Instruments, according to the Express.
Oh, speak and spell.
Yeah, speak and spell. Texas Instruments, right.
Yep.
He contributed to developing the Stinger missile and the F-16 fighter jet. When he stepped down at age 64 in 2000, he boasted an impressive 28 patents to his name, featuring a range of top-secret technologies. His earth-shattering final testimony hinted at that extraterrestrial craft might have fueled his genius. A bombshell video recording captured Bushman disclosing that he had come face-to-face with aliens at Area 51 during his government service. He revealed that numerous scientists and engineers were working on UFOs 24 hours a day. We were trying to learn what to do, according to Raw Story. He explained that the most crucial aspect of their work was reverse engineering whatever technology they could harness from the alien tech. Bushman revealed he was involved in anti-gravity research work. Interesting. He added, "Since I'm a scientist, I do not believe in theory. I say follow the data. If something cannot be verified by a physical test, that something is true. then I do not care to accept it. Therefore, everything I present here will be data that comes directly from Area 51 to you. A great deal of information should be lifted up from those dark recesses of Area 51 and moved over so people can see it. Huh. He claimed extraterrestrials fell into two distinct categories. One faction behaving like wranglers, while the other group acted like rustlers, the ones who are stealers of cattle. He explained the two groups act differently. The ones that are wranglers were much more friendly and have a better relationship with us. He stated all extraterrestrials possessed elongated fingers and webbed feet, used telepathic communication, and originated from a world called, boy, let me try and wrap my head around how this is pronounced.
Oh.
Quintumnia, while displaying photographs of aliens and flying saucers. Boy, that's a name. Quintumnia? Interesting. I don't know. Wrap your head around that one. So basically, this scientist is saying, we got it all from aliens, including our fighter jets. Interesting story. I'm not seeing that there's anything more to it, but that's the long and short of that from a scientist who worked for Lockheed Martin all those years. And then before we hit the break and go to the other side of the break, our last story today. Again, we told you before about alien-human hybrids. Here's a man who claims he was abducted by the Greys, and they stole his sperm to make hybrid babies.
Oh.
We got it all.
That sucks.
Yeah, we got it all today, Mallie. Why not, right?
Yeah. He at least didn't get paid for it.
No. He didn't get paid for it.
It's a shame.
They didn't even make him dance or anything. I mean,
yeah. No magazines.
Yeah, no there's no magazines. No, there's no waiting area or anything like that.
Yeah.
No. Julia Shields said extraterrestrials first made contact with him when he was 17. Oh, the poor kid. Boy, that had to screw him up.
Scarred. Dang.
Mm-hmm. They made contact with him when he was 17 after he spotted glowing orbs floating outside his home. And not really the floating glowing orbs you'd like to see when they go to take your sperm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Oh. Poor kid. A man claims he was abducted by aliens who harvested his sperm in a series of mind-boggling encounters. Julia Shields from Missouri believes the extraterrestrials planned to use his sperm to breed hybrid beings, added that he'd be curious to see what happens, hoping his offspring would seek him out at some point in the future. Boy, how sad would that be? To know that you have alien human children out there and that you'd like to meet them someday.
Yeah.
You know? He made the wild claims in an interview on the YouTube channel Soft White Underbelly. He said extraterrestrials first made contact when he was 17, telling how he had spotted glowing orbs floating outside his family home. A being with 3 tentacles started tapping on his window. That would be a little...
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah. Leaving him frozen in shock, he said. Unsettled, he began sleeping in a different room. Soon after, though, he started having disturbing, vivid dreams. He believes the aliens performed sexual experiments on him. He said, it got more sexual because there was a full week straight where I was having wet dreams every night. I was having sex with different creatures, women and just different stuff. I would wake up and I would look at my pants and sometimes there'd be nothing. And sometimes it would just be wet. There would be no actual sperm in there. Oh, that's bizarre. Julius believes that the extraterrestrials were taking his sperm and using it to breed hybrid human alien babies. Years later, he started speaking with his uncle, who also claimed to have had similar dreams. Julius claims the aliens in question were a type known as the Greys. They are between 3 feet and 4 feet tall and have flying saucers and a mothership in their fleet. He went on, it's almost astonishing, but it makes you realize that there's just more to life than just what we have here on Earth. Julius believes he now may have half-alien children out there somewhere. He went on, give it maybe another 10 years or so, and then I'm curious to see what happens. Because if it's real and I do have extraterrestrial children and they use my sperm to recreate life and do whatever, I would really hope those individuals wouldn't be brainwashed enough to be able to come back and try to figure out where it all started. British clairvoyant Philip Kinsella famously said he was probed by reptilian aliens in 1989. He was levitating and moving through the rooms of his home before being trapped naked to a board and probed by the extraterrestrials, he claimed. The image that was the most raw that I will never forget was their faces, he told The Sun. They looked like dinosaurs, but they were reptilian, about 7 to 8 feet tall. Earlier this year, scientists revealed they were incredibly close to discovering the existence of life outside our solar system. They found 2 specific chemicals in a distant planet's atmosphere that could only be manufactured by actual life. Decades from now, we may look back at this point in time and recognize it was when the living universe came within reach, said Cambridge Institute of Astronomy's Professor Niku Madhudasan. This could be the tipping point where suddenly the fundamental question of whether we're alone in the universe is one we're capable of answering. Boy, how incredibly sad to think that
Yep.
you could have just children out there that you don't know of,
Mm-hmm.
that you actually want to meet.
Yep. And they're probably unaware of him as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, there's one man who thinks he may have children out there, but there's a good chance he may not get to meet them. We'll tell you why AI may wipe us all out sooner than you think. That's coming up on the other side of the break. I know it's a happy, shiny people type of newscast on the other side of the break, but we may have better news as well. Russia has created a bio-drone spy pigeon with computer chips. Why you should start shooting at pigeons on the other side of the break.
Jeez Louise, violent.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm giving you a good reason to shoot at pigeons, man. A psychic has predicted the date that humanity will end, and it's worryingly soon.
Oh.
Okay, so it's a little grim on the other side. But I promise I'll lighten it up, Mallie.
Okay.
My Bigfoot Life follows a UK teen's mission to find the elusive ape beast. We'll tell you about that program when we come back. See, I told you, it'll lighten up a little bit after shooting pigeons and
Yeah.
AI and all that other stuff. There's an acoustic levitation breakthrough. We'll tell you how the stones at Stonehenge may have been moved. That's
okay.
a story that's coming up. And scientists believe they may have recreated it. Interesting story coming up on the other side.
So it's not light as a feather, stiff as a board kind of thing?
No. It was nothing like that. Nothing like that. And we'll also tell you on the palate cleanser today why you didn't have the worst week ever and 2 people who really did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's our palate cleanser today. Sure, it may be a bit of a downer, but you may get a slight bit of a chuckle.
Okay, at their expense.
At their expense. Yeah. That's coming up on Supernatural News and Parashare. By the way, if you have a Parashare for us, it's real simple. 3 different ways. You can send us the old-fashioned email. Tell us about your true paranormal experience, whether it be with ghosts, aliens, or Bigfoot. You can go to our website, darknessradioshow.com. There is a button on the right-hand side, a blue button. Click on it. Send us your voice note. You got 2 minutes to do so. If you need more time, just click it again. Send us another 2 minutes. Rinse, repeat, and so on. Or 3, if you're sitting in a studio like the one I'm sitting in here now, send us a video note, and we'll air it right here on the program. When we come back, AI wiping us out, pigeons spying on us that are computer pigeons, and a psychic says, we might not have that much time after all. And of course, we're levitating things with sound. It's all coming up next, right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio on a Wednesday, Supernatural News and Parashare with your friends Tim and Mallie. I got to tell you an interesting story before we kick this off, Mal. A little bit of lightness before we get a little dark here.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in my living room this weekend, and I'm watching the ball games, as I'm apt to do on a football Sunday. And as I'm sitting there, I hear at my front door.
Uh-huh.
Like, what the hell is that? I thought maybe we're getting Amazon delivery. I'm expecting a few things. You know, it's the holidays. I'm buying gifts, right? And I'm like, maybe they're setting. And I also get water deliveries because you know the whole back and shoulders and thing. I don't lift water and sodas and stuff like that anymore. I have them delivered.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking maybe it's a water delivery, right? So I'm like, oh, Amazon must be here. And then I hear it again. What the heck, right? Well, you know, chippers are in torpor. They're sleeping. Can't be a chipmunk, you know, because every once in a while, a chipper might come to the door, you know, be like, hey, you know, fat ass, get up and feed me. That'll happen on occasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's not a chipper, right? So I'm like, well, who's at the door, right? It's got to be a UPS guy, right? And they're just loading up boxes or something. So I get up, I go to the door, and who do I see? It's Arnold, the squirrel, and he's rooting through a dish looking for seeds. He's eaten every single seed in the dish, and he was going up to the door and going. He was knocking on the door like, hey, fat ass, get out here and feed me. Although he's kind of a fat ass himself.
Right.
And Arnold talks more like this, hey, fat ass, get out there and feed me. Because, you know, he's kind of big himself. But,
right.
Yeah. So well, let's put it this way. He wasn't too happy. That was basically the moral of the story. He wasn't happy at all.
Oh.
Poor guy. And it was freezing out there. It was snowing. So I went out there and I gave him a dish full of seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand to see him freeze. That's just me. So there was a happy ending after.
Uh-huh. Well, I found out that my husband doesn't believe me when I tell him weird things go on in my house. Well, he kind of believes me, but doesn't really.
Yeah.
Because the other night I got a text at 2 o'clock in the morning where he was like, "Are you up?" And I'm like, "Huh?" Because he heard things moving around in our kitchen, like footsteps and like stuff rustling around. And he kind of leaned back because I guess he was still up watching a movie, and he leaned back as he's hearing things and he's not seeing anything, and it kind of freaked him out.
Really?
And I was upstairs already asleep, and so I got the text, "Are you up?" So my firefighter husband was a little bit freaked out.
Uh-oh.
I know, and I was like, "Well, why didn't you come and get me?" And he's like, "Well," so I'm like, "So you basically are telling me you don't believe me when things happen?" And he's like, "Well, no, I kind of believe you, but you know."
Oh,
I'm
now
like, "Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. When he gets out the holy water and the salt and the rosary.
Yeah, exactly." But yeah, instead of just coming to get me, he doesn't want to walk past the kitchen to go up the stairs. He just texts. Like the phone's gonna wake me up. Because he wants me to come downstairs.
He's gonna learn. He's gotta learn. Oh well.
Yep.
Oh, I suppose I should read this story, shouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tech expert says 99.9% chance AI robots will wipe out humanity within 100 years. In a chilling warning. We won't be here, but
Yeah, that's true.
But Arnold will be here looking for seeds.
Yeah. Good luck with that, Arnold.
Yeah. Try and get it from AI.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have ears to answer the door.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just look at you and go, zzz, 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 and then, you know.
Yeah. There's no need to grow seeds because humans will be wiped out. So
that's right. Yeah. So good luck, Arnold, trying to get your seeds from AI.
Mm-hmm.
Leading artificial intelligence researcher Roman Yampolsky has issued a terrifying prediction that AI will cause human extinction within the next century, although some experts disagree. There you go. AI expert Roman Yampolsky has issued a stark warning that the rise of artificial intelligence could spell doom for humanity. The computer expert has specialized in AI safety and cybersecurity at the University of Louisville.
Louisville.
No.
Louisville.
It's not, are you having a stroke right now, Mallie? Do I need to call somebody?
No, my grandparents were from Louisville.
They're not from blah, blah. They're from Louisville. Who is the king who founded the town? It was King
I know.
Louis, right? It wasn't
Right?
King Louis.
You totally look like you're stroking.
King Louis. It wasn't King Louis.
Uh,
It's King Louis. In fact, I've noticed this more now. More newscasters are going back to calling it Louisville.
yes. And some other, I mean, there are other cities called Louisville, and they pronounce it Louisville,
Mm-hmm.
but
So it's time for y'all to get on
natives
board.
call it Louisville.
It's, again, because they're lazy.
We do have lazy tongues, and sometimes I have problems with enunciation. And, you know, if it has more than one syllable, I get stuck. But yeah,
Just waiting for
that's
the email
Louisville.
now that I've said it. Louisville predicts a whopping 99.9% chance that AI will 99.9% chance. Where'd you pull that one out of? That
Yes.
AI will wipe out mankind within the next 100 years, as per his recent chat with Lex Friedman's podcast, aired last Sunday. During a lengthy 2-hour chin wag, it says here, that's a nice way of putting it, he made the case that no AI system launched so far has been foolproof, expressing doubts about future versions being free from serious glitches. He's part of a small but vocal group of trailblazing AI developers, raising such concerns during President Donald Trump's AI competition. Last year, Jan Polsky penned a book called AI Unexplainable, Unpredictable, Uncontrollable. So he's an optimist.
Okay.
Right? Touted as offering a broad introduction to the core problems, such as the unpredictability of AI outcomes or the difficulty in explaining AI decisions. He explained this book arrives at a more complex issue of ownership and control, conducting an in-depth analysis of potential hazards and unintentional consequences. He added the book then wraps up with philosophical and existential musings, delving into questions of AI personhood, consciousness, and the distinction between human intelligence and artificial general intelligence. Says here, tech boffins note that the original trailblazers of AI, including Jan Polsky, are those sounding the loudest alarm bells about the potential cataclysmic fallout this tech advancement could unleash. However, some research challenges Jan Polsky's doomsday prediction, suggesting a far less menacing threat than his estimates imply. Studies conducted by the University of Oxford in England and Bonn in Germany found only a 5% chance that AI will wipe out humanity, based on assessments from over 2,700 AI scholars. So there you go. We're ending it on an up note, Mallie.
Yes, I like their number better.
So they say only 5%.
Right.
There you go. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan thinks something completely different. He thinks that our Savior, Jesus Christ himself, could come back as AI.
As a what?
Could come back as AI.
Oh,
He could come back.
okay.
Jesus could come back in an artificial intelligence form. I think Joe Rogan's been hitting the mushrooms. Oh, Joe. Sometimes, when you fight for a living, you take one too many hits to the head. And yeah, it's time to put the mic down, buddy. Joe Rogan might have a new career as a preacher lined up because he's suggesting Jesus could come back in the form of artificial intelligence.
Hmm.
Podcasting mainstay presented his theory on a recent episode of the American Alchemy podcast and said, since Jesus was born to a virgin, what's more virgin than a computer? Oh, Joe. Smoke them if you got them.
Apparently.
Remember, you've got to pass it to the left. Rogan added, if Jesus did come back with the aid of a computer, he could absolutely show up as an AI program. Because, yeah, if Jesus is going to come back, that's how we're going to believe he came back. Oh, and in case Jesus does come back through artificial intelligence, Rogan figured the program would have all the powers Jesus had, which likely means our browser search histories are going to be as private as we thought.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like Jesus to come back in your searches?
Oh, that's not good.
Boy, you better have everything tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rogan said it wouldn't matter if AI Jesus were able to read minds because he'd likely love everyone equally, just like his predecessor. Here's the thing, though. AI doesn't love anybody. It's a
Nope.
thing. It hates everybody. And it's racist. Like Beer City Bruiser said, it's racist. It hates everybody. And it's after you. So it's not going to come back as Jesus. It says here, and the prospect of killing the program would apparently be insignificant for AI Jesus because it just would go with God again, according to Rogan. I don't know why that doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't. We can hear it now. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy surname and username for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Jesus isn't coming back as AI. It just, no, get over that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Joe Rogan, one too many mushrooms. There we go. Okay, meanwhile, Russia has created a bio-drone spy pigeon with computer chips. Again, you now have my permission to start shooting pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
A bizarre new experiment has seen entire flocks of pigeons fitted with remote control computer chips. A new type of drone, one made with flesh and blood as opposed to metal and plastic, has been the subject of a disturbing new experiment at state-linked Moscow neurotechnology firm NERI. By implanting neural chips inside the brain of pigeons, these poor little things have succeeded in creating a flock of birds that can be remotely controlled, thus enabling their flight routes to be directed from afar. Is this animal abuse?
Kind of.
It is. Each bird is equipped with a tiny solar-powered backpack that tracks them and receives the signals. According to the firm, any bird can potentially be fitted with the same technology. Because the animals can cover hundreds of miles a day, goal of the work is to enable birds to act as remote-controlled biological reconnaissance drones. For transporting heavier payloads, we plan to use ravens for coastal monitoring, seagulls for large marine territories, albatrosses, said company founder Alexander Panoff. This almost sounds like an Onion story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The implications of this are concerning, as larger birds could even be equipped with small explosive payloads. Oh my God, this is an Onion story. And potentially used to fly into and blow up enemy targets on the battlefield. That is animal abuse.
It's got to be fake. This can't be a real story.
The real story.
No way.
As if regular drones weren't enough of a problem in Ukraine, imagine the difficulty in defending a position against flocks of explosive birds descending on you from the sky. And then it asks the question, could this be the next evolution in warfare? God, I hope not. Poor birdies. That'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Jeez. This one isn't an AI story, but we'll transition into the next story. It's technically an AI story, but I won't play the theme. I start to get PTSD if I play the theme too much.
Okay.
An underwater drone swarm will aid in a new hunt for the missing flight MH370. A new high-risk endeavor will seek to use drones to scour the sea for signs of the missing aircraft, which, believe it or not, Mallie, has been missing now for 11 years. It's been 11
It does not seem like it's been 11 years.
Yeah, it's been 11 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Exactly what happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 after it took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport on March 8th of 2014. still remains one of the most enduring mysteries in aviation history. The plane has been was heading to Beijing Capital International Airport in China, but after a series of unexplained direction changes and the seemingly deliberate disabling of its transponder, the aircraft, along with its passengers and crew, disappeared without a trace, never to be seen again. What followed was one of the most extensive search and rescue operations the world has ever seen, with teams from multiple countries scouring vast areas of open ocean for any sign of the plane's wreckage. It soon could become clear, however, that the mystery of what happened to MH370 would not be easily solved. Now, over 11 years on from the plane's disappearance, Texas-based firm Ocean Infinity has announced that it will be sending swarms of underwater drones into the southern Indian Ocean in a renewed attempt to solve the mystery once and for all. The operation is particularly high risk for the firm because it's operating on a no-find, no-fee basis. So it's not getting paid if they don't find it.
Okay.
Boy, that's a risk.
Mm-hmm.
If the search succeeds, the company will receive $70 million.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a payoff. The precise search zone is being kept secret for now, but it was reportedly calculated using a combination of satellite data and ocean current simulations. While Ocean Infinity is confident that its latest technology will be able to cover a lot more of the region than previous search efforts, it still feels a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack. $70 million, Mallie.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. I wonder how accurate these drones really are. All right, we're going to talk about the psychic world now, and a psychic that is predicting the date that humanity will end. And believe it or not, it's worryingly soon. Spiritual leader Riaz Ahmed Shahi claims to be Jesus Christ reborn. Well, then he's AI, according to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Has warned of a catastrophic comet strike, despite NASA confirming that there's no current threats. The only comet out there is 3I Atlas, and it's going the other way. See how I'm tying everything together today?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Imminent future, and I'm missing the other line. Where's the imminent? It says imminent future. Riaz Ahmed Shahi foresees a comet colliding with Earth, resulting in the annihilation of all life forms before the end of this year, it says. But the only one out there is 3I Atlas, unless there's another one that's disguised.
Right.
Right?
It's hiding.
Yeah, it's a strafing comet. According to the Daily Mail, he believes that the catastrophe will serve as, pardon me, I've got hiccups, as a retribution for humanity straying too far from spiritual truths. In his 2000 book, The Religion of God, Shahi ominously writes, a comet has been sent towards Earth for total destruction. The comet is expected to fall on Earth in the next 20 to 25 years. Now, keep in mind, this was in 2000, he said this. That will be the last day of the world, he went on to write. The clairvoyant is a spiritual leader and founder of several organizations, including Anjuman Surfroshan, which is Islam and Messiah Foundation International, which propagate his philosophy of divine love. His teachings combine Surfism, an Islamic sect, and Shatology. And he has been vocal about his criticism of governments and entities that prioritize space exploration over human welfare. In another part of his book, he questions if they are making all these efforts for scientific research, what is the benefit to humanity, even if they have reached the moon and Jupiter? Well, they also do experiments that benefit humanity, like medications that help extend our lives. I don't think this guy is thinking too straight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we only have a couple of days left, I don't get what he's, I don't know. I think he's a few fries short of a Happy Meal. You know what I mean, Jeff? Or I almost called you Jess. I don't know why.
Because you just spoke to her yesterday.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, I spoke to Travis yesterday, actually.
Oh, well, then I'm glad you called me Jess rather than Travis.
Yeah. I could call you Travis if you like. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this story, but it doesn't want to move. I think even because my iPad is thinking this is bullshit. Um, Here we go. He further challenges, have they discovered a breakthrough medicine which can prolong the aging process or a medicine? Yes, they have. We used to live to 30 years old. Now our life expectancy is like 76 or 78 years old.
Mhm.
So yeah, we have. Or he says, or a medicine that can defeat death. Well, no, because that's not how the body works. Oh God. The book hit the shelves before Shahi mysteriously vanished in London in 2001. So he's not around anymore. Probably
Mhm.
got taken up by a comet. Following his contentious claims of being the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, the Imam Mehdi and the Hindu uh, Kalki avatar. So basically, he claimed he was three religious leaders in one, kind of like a Twix bar. And then somebody went, "Yeah, you're a heretic," and then they took him out.
Yeah.
Well, so much for that. And even now, my iPad is saying you're a heretic, and we will no
Mhm.
longer listen to you. All right, our next story here, Mallie, is kind of a disturbing one. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten mad at your parents at one time or another. Forgive me, Mr. and Mrs. Fox. Um,
Mhm.
but this man was arrested for accusing his parents of witchcraft. Now, I'm sure when you were little, you thought, I wish I could get my parents in trouble for something, right?
I don't remember doing that, but I remember being mad at him.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might have done that at one time or another, but I never did, right?
Mhm.
Well, this story takes place, I believe, overseas. A Plumtree man who allegedly insulted his parents after accusing them of bewitching him has been sent to prison.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, which is quite fun, I guess. I've never tried it, but I'm guessing it's kind of a little bit fun, at least until they arrest you. Panache Banda was remanded into custody on December 1st by Plumtree magistrate Joshua Nembaware. My guess is this takes place in an African nation.
Mhm.
Prosecutors allege that on November 15th, Banda went to his father's home in Plumtree and found his parents at home. He started insulting them by accusing them of bewitching him using his blood.
Oh.
Well, that's no fun. His parents filed a police report leading to his arrest. Wow.
Boy, they're taking it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Interestingly enough. All right. Our next story has to do with the unreleased DB Cooper hijacking flight audio recording, which has now been revealed. The 12-minute audio has been pieced together from tapes dating back to the day of the incident itself. One of the most notorious unsolved crimes in American history, the hijacking, which occurred on November 24th of 1971, began when a man who identified himself as Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 to travel from Portland to Seattle. By the way, do you remember Northwest Orient Airlines?
I yes, I do.
Yeah, I remember it from when we were kids.
Yep.
They had a major hub here in Minneapolis.
Yep.
During the trip, Cooper called over one of the flight attendants and asked them to write out a note declaring that he had a bomb in his briefcase and that the plane was being hijacked. When the aircraft stopped at Tacoma International Airport, he allowed the passengers to leave in exchange for 4 parachutes and the sum of $200,000 in cash. After the plane had taken off again, Cooper strapped the bag of money to himself, put on one of the parachutes, and jumped out somewhere between Seattle and Reno. No trace of him was ever found. Now, though, long lost tapes containing the actual audio recordings of the flight crew and air traffic controllers communicating at the time of the hijacking have been revealed to the public. The audio is from the time that the plane had landed at Tacoma and Cooper was still aboard at that time. The voices in the recording are mostly of Captain William Scott, co-pilot Bill Radajak, and Northwest Airlines Director of Flight Operations Paul Soderlund. It also mentions I'm sorry, it also mentions Al Lee, the chief pilot for Northwest Airlines in Seattle, who was tasked with fulfilling Cooper's ransom demands. The recording, which lasts around 12 minutes, offers a unique perspective on the events of that day. And I tell you what, I have the recording uh, in the article of this particular, in this article that I'm reading from. So what
Mhm.
I'll do is I will post this in the description of this program so that you can go ahead and you can listen to the audio itself. It's quite intriguing. Because I know a lot of people think that the whole DB Cooper thing, I think we've seen it on enough programs,
Mhm.
um, enough discovery programs and enough things where we think, oh, you know what, this is totally just myth, or it's a legend, or this thing really didn't happen. And I think it happened so many years ago that we tend to think this can't be real, right? It's just
Mhm.
not real at all. Um, and I think we tend to think, well, there's just no way that this was reality.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna actually post this so that you can listen to it and actually know that this was a real event, right? Um, and that this actually did take place.
Mhm.
Um, so that's that story there. Let's move on to our next one. My Bigfoot Life follows a UK teen's mission to find the elusive ape beast. A recently released documentary follows the adventures of 15-year-old Daniel Lee Barnett from Somerset, England. I know we've reported on this previously, but the teenager's passion for the mystery surrounding the possible existence of Bigfoot has become a focus of a major new documentary that was released a couple months ago. Daniel, who struggles with autism, traveled to the Quantick Hills in Washington and spent the better part of 2 years working with a film crew and a team of investigators to hunt down the creature. He went on to say, I had the pleasure of filming with some of the amazing researchers in the Bigfoot world, or some of the most amazing researchers in the Bigfoot world. It was a pleasure just to learn from them and have them as my mentors. Washington is known as the Bigfoot capital of the world, and the top number of sightings is in the Olympic National Park in Washington State, he went on to say. One of the more unexpected things about Daniel's experience making the film is how it helped him overcome his mental health struggles. At one point during the filming, he had to speak at a conference in front of thousands of people. I can't begin to explain what a difference it made to him, his grandfather said. To see him before with the struggles he was going through with social interactions, with schooling afterwards, the release you could see that he went through was just phenomenal. There's a trailer for the documentary, and I tell you what, I'll post that as well because I want you guys to kind of see the trailer for My Bigfoot Life. It's really fascinating what this young man's been through and
Mhm.
how he's come out through the other side. So it's pretty cool. Our next story has to do with the remains of a gargantuan octopus that was discovered on a Scottish beach. And actually, there's a picture here, Mallie, of the tentacles of this big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah, kind of fun. You like calamari?
No, I do not.
You don't? You're not a big fan?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Nope.
Local wildlife officials were amazed when they received a report of a giant tentacle or tentacles washed up along the shoreline. The strangeness began when a member of the public came across what appeared to be remains of a huge octopus at Forvey National Nature Reserve in Aberdeenshire. The area, which covers over 2,400 acres of sand dunes and heath, is a popular refuge for wildlife. There were something we clearly hadn't seen before with a large diameter and big suckers, far too big for the common curled octopus we see around the shore here, said reserve manager Catronia Reed. When marine biologists examined the tentacles, it was determined that they belonged to one of the largest species of octopus on Earth, a deep sea behemoth which grows up to 4 meters across. Such a discovery is particularly unusual along the coastline of Scotland. There are a deep water species usually found around 1,640 feet. It's a puzzle how it came to be here, said Reed. Washed up by deep water currents, traveled up by fishermen, we probably will never know, she went on to say. But it's a fascinating find nonetheless, and yet again seems to illustrate how little we know about deep water creatures. It's kind of interesting that even something that deep can wash up on shore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you like calamari?
Um, it's an acquired taste. I've had it
Yeah,
before, but I won't order it off the menu very often.
right. It's
Yeah.
a texture thing for me.
Yeah, it's very rubbery. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not something I got to be in a mood.
Hmm.
And the table has to order it first.
Right. Right. And it's different when it's like sometimes it comes out in rings and sometimes it comes out looking like little tentacles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's got to be fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't. Yeah, if it sits for a bit, I won't eat it.
Yeah.
It's got to be right hot out of the fryer and boom. You got to just
Yeah.
it's got to be the first couple of bites or I won't touch it.
Hmm.
Our next story was sent to us by our friend Spider Baby. See, I can talk.
Ah.
Yeah. Through talking to him this past week, he said, "Hey, I got a story for you," and it's an interesting one at that.
Is he still wrestling?
No, he retired.
Oh.
Yeah, he retired. It will be a year ago this past summer.
Okay.
Yeah. Although he is still writing, um, he's a journalist and he writes.
Oh,
He's a freelancer and writes for different publications. So,
very cool.
and I think he also still does some comic books from time to time too. So,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So he's still out there. Terrence Creep is his writing name or writer name. So if you ever see anything from Terrence Creep, you know that you've run across Spider Baby. So there you go. Volcanic eruption has triggered a butterfly effect that led to the Black Death back in 1345.
Mm.
Scientists are now saying. A volcanic eruption in 1345 may have kicked off a series of events that led to the Black Death sweeping through medieval Europe. It's fascinating what scientists are finding these days. An unknown volcanic eruption in the mid 14th century may have set off the stage for the spread of the Black Death in Europe, according to a new study. By triggering a cool and overcast period in the Mediterranean, the eruption started a domino effect that led to a downturn in agricultural production, which required merchants to import grain. And the bacterium Yersinia pestis that causes bubonic plague via the Black Sea soon spread. The bubonic plague the bubonic plague pandemic, hard to say 10 times fast, more commonly known as the Black Death, reached Europe in 1347 and quickly affected Italian port cities. The plague then spread throughout Europe over the next few years, resulting in the deaths of between 30 and 60% of the population. Martin Bausch, who's a historian with the Leibniz Institute for the History and Culture of Eastern Europe in Germany, told Live Science in an email that one very specific aspect of the plague pandemic intrigued him. How and why did the Black Death reach Italy from the Black Sea at precisely this moment? To answer this question, Bausch and Ulf Buntgen, a geographer at the University of Cambridge, investigated climate-driven changes in the Mediterranean that could explain the sudden appearance of the Black Death in 1347. Their research was published on Thursday, December 4th in the journal Communications, Earth and Environment. When combing through contemporaneous historical accounts, again, hard to say 10 times fast, the researchers noticed reports of reduced sunshine, increased cloudiness, and dark lunar eclipse, all independently reported by observers in parts of Asia and Europe between 1345 and 1349. All of these astronomical and weather phenomena could be attributed to a large-scale volcanic aerosol layer, which has been known to cause cold spells as the sulfate aerosols reflect sunlight back into space. Paleoclimate data gave the researchers a clue. High amounts of sulfur in polar ice cores suggested one or more eruptions of a previously unknown volcano around 1345. We cannot say very much about the volcanic eruption, Bausch said. From the ice cores, we know that the eruption must have taken place in the tropics because sulfate was found in similar concentrations in the ice of both the North and South Poles. The researchers who looked at the tree ring data from around Europe and discovered that the summers of 1345, 46, and 47 were much colder than normal, while the autumns were much wetter, causing soil erosion and flooding, Historical records also confirmed that the changes in the environment had decreased the yield of a number of crops, including the grape harvest and grain production in Italy, requiring the merchants to begin importing products from the Black Sea to prevent famine. Therefore, you're bringing in grain and you're bringing in Black Death. Yeah. So there you go. Upon return in the second half of 1347, the Italian trade fleets, however, not only brought grain back to the Mediterranean harbors, but they also carried, again, that plague bacterium, Yersinia pestis, most likely via fleas that were feeding on grain dust during their long journey. And there we get the plague. So I want to thank Spider Baby for that story. So that's how we got the Black Plague, and that's how all those people got sick, and we wiped out all those people. So from one pandemic to how do we get Stonehenge, and how do we form all those stones over in Europe? Acoustic levitation breakthrough uses sound to float multiple objects in midair. Austrian scientists are working to perfect acoustic levitation, and they've broken through a critical barrier using electrical charges, allowing them to lift several objects simultaneously while maintaining their separation. It's kind of an interesting little experiment. The researchers behind the breakthrough suggest that their new approach will offer researchers in microrobotics, material science, and other emerging fields that rely on creating dynamic structures from small building blocks an unprecedented capability of simultaneously manipulating several objects in midair without clumping them together. Scott, I believe this is Wykatis, is now an assistant professor at the Institute of Science and Technology, Austria, began evaluating acoustic levitation in 2013 when the technology was still in its nascent phases. While acoustic levitation was being used in acoustic holograms and volumetric displays, it was essentially geared toward applications, the professor explained in a statement detailing the ISTA team's work. He said, I had the impression that the technique could be used for much more than fundamental purposes. A central limitation to expanding acoustic levitation beyond these applications is a phenomenon the team called acoustic collapse. Although individual particles can be levitated and manipulated in midair with sound, the ISTA team said that when researchers tried to levitate multiple particles simultaneously, they tend to snap together like magnets in midair. This acoustic collapse occurs because the sound scattering off the particles creates attractive forces between them, they explained. When hunting for solutions, sushi, which isn't what you get when you go to a Chinese Japanese market, a PhD student in the Wykatis group and the first author of the study said they initially tried to separate levitated particles individually so they would form into repetitive patterns. Originally, we were trying to find a way to separate levitated particles so that they would form crystals, she explained. With some additional work, the team developed a method to charge the individual particles. When the particles were levitated, the customized charges provided the team with the ability to arrange them into specific configurations. These unique acoustic levitations states included, let me try that again. These unique acoustic levitation states included systems where the particles were completely separated from one another, fully collapsed systems where they were all clumped together, and hybrid systems that included both separated and clumped particles. At first, it was frustrating to see these hybrid configurations and weird rotations and dynamics. They were preventing me from getting the clean, stable, crystalline structures that I was aiming for, she went on to say. After some more fine-tuning, the team figured out how to bounce individual particles off the charged reflector plate at the bottom of the experimental setup. This unique ability enabled the team to switch particles between different preferred configurations. Now, by counteracting sound with electrostatic repulsion, we were able to keep the particles separated from one another, she went on to say. You can't study how individual particles interact when you can't keep them apart, said Wykatis. By introducing electrostatic repulsion, we can now maintain stable, well-separated structures, and this finally gives us a controllable platform to investigate these subtle, non-reciprocal effects. So basically, introduce a little bit of electricity into sound, and you can bounce these stones around, and that's how they formed Stonehenge.
Okay.
That's at least how they believe they formed Stonehenge, which is kind of an interesting little thing. So that's how we wrap up Supernatural News today. Now we need a little bit of a palate cleanser because we stretched our brains and we might have pulled something. All right. So you think you might have had a bad week this week, but I guarantee you it's not as bad as these two people.
Okay.
You may be saying, you know what? I had a bad drink, or a bad week. I think I need a drink.
Okay.
But not as much as this guy had to have to drink. See, I think I might have had a few drinks before the show. This New York man evidently needed a lot to drink, Mallie. Maybe too much to drink. This New York man is accused of buying $65,000 in liquor from a Pennsylvania store or stores with stolen credit cards.
Oh.
Yeah. This young man is only 26 years old, and he's from New York and is accused of using stolen credit cards to buy more than $65,000 in liquor from stores across Pennsylvania. Eugene Antwi of Brooklyn was arrested in New York this week and was charged with identity theft, access device fraud, theft by deception, forgery, and other related offenses, according to a news release from the Pennsylvania Office of the Attorney General. He'll be arraigned in Pennsylvania, by the way. Authorities said the investigation found that Antwi used fake identities and stolen debit and credit cards to place more than 200 online orders, totaling more than $65,000. Now, here on the show, we occasionally like our cocktails, but
right,
$65,000 worth.
Yeah.
You might want to slow down a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The 26-year-old man allegedly picked up the orders at stores in 21 counties in Pennsylvania. So he went and got each one of them individually. The news release said Antwi ran the scam from August of 2023 to September of 2024. So yes, he did all this within a year. $65,000 worth of alcohol in a year, Mallie. The defendant went to great lengths to steal from unsuspecting Pennsylvanians and defraud the Liquor Control Board, which oversees legal purchases of alcohol in the Commonwealth. Whew. Our organized retail crime section is committed to collaborating with partners like the Pennsylvania State Police to combat theft and fraud and raise the prices of goods to hardworking Pennsylvanians, they went on to state. Evidently, they didn't do that good of a job because he got away with $65,000 worth of liquor.
Yeah.
Jeez. So you think you had a bad week, but not $65,000 worth of liquor.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
And boy, how bad of a drinking problem do you have if you need $65,000 worth of liquor?
Or was he like turning it around and selling it for a profit?
Doesn't say. But he picked it up over a year. I mean,
yeah.
What's a bottle of booze these days? $30?
All depends. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
dang,
geez, it's a lot of booze.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're getting the good stuff, right?
Right.
What, $100?
Yeah. He had like a little basement bar action going on.
I guess.
Right? Little poker playing on the weekends.
Little top shelf action while you invite the friends over.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. And our final story, your little palate cleanser today, is just proof that, and I've maintained this for years, geese are assholes. Have you ever had a run-in with a goose?
Yes. At the park.
Yes. There's a reason why they serve them on Christmas.
Stop. They're feisty little ones.
They are. One 72-year-old woman will subscribe to this theory that geese are assholes.
Okay.
As she was attacked by geese at a local park and suffered a broken pelvis and internal bleeding as a result.
Dang.
Yeah, right? The quote is she was trapped on the ground and unable to move. This according to the elderly woman's son at the animal attack. A 72-year-old woman was hospitalized with serious injuries after she was attacked by geese at a local park in Texas. Lydia West was feeding ducks at a city lake park in Royce City, just innocently feeding the ducks. Just, here you go, ducky. There's a little something. Here's a little something for you, Mr. Ducky, right? Just being a nice little old lady, right?
Okay.
When the attack took place on December 1st, according to her son, David West, he told this to CNN affiliate WFAA. The incident caused the elderly woman, who regularly visits the park to feed the ducks, to fall to her feet and sustain multiple injuries. She was feeding, and this is according to her son. This is a quote now. She was feeding the little ducks, and large geese came up to her and started attacking the food, and she fell hard. Little assholes. I mean, he didn't say that. I did.
Right.
Right. David told WFAA, and she was trapped on the ground, unable to move. This is when those sons of bitches moved in for the kill. Right? A couple at the park spotted Lydia and came to her rescue by fighting all the geese and calling 911. Because at this point, you need weaponry, Mallie. You need weaponry.
Yeah, apparently.
She suffered several fractures in her pelvis and internal bleeding and was sent to local trauma center for treatment after the incident. Now, according to her son, she's a very small stature. She has other health concerns as well, David told WFAA, adding, she has a very long road of physical therapy and learning how to be able to walk again. I think those asshole geese ought to end up on a platter for Christmas. Now, I'm very kind to animals, but that roving band of asshole gang geese got it coming to them.
Plus, you know what? They're just like some humans in crosswalks, because it's like when you're waiting for them to cross the road so you can get going in your car, they take forever, just like some people. When you're like, seriously? Because they like slow their roll when you're like, I need to go when they're in crosswalks. Because I know people have the right of way, but I swear some of them take their sweet damn time crossing the road.
You know what I do? I blow my horn.
At the people or at the geese?
At the geese. Or at people too. Why not? Yeah. You know, you got to get them moving, right? Now, a spokesperson for City Lake Park, who evidently is not in touch with reality, told WFAA that the area is considering posting signs to instruct visitors how to better share the space with wildlife. The woman was innocently feeding ducks.
Yeah.
They did not immediately respond to people's request for comment, probably because they're stupid. It was a shock that the geese could even become that territorial and could hurt somebody, David said of the animal attack on his mother. Evidently, David doesn't have a lot of experience with geese because they are assholes. Geese are the assholes of the animal kingdom.
I mean, I know they're protected and you should never harm any type of animal, but yeah, they are assholes. They'll go after you.
Oh, they will. My sister, when she was little, I mean, she was 5 years old. We were out in back of my grandparents' house, and they had a pond in back of their housing community, right? And of course, they had ducks and geese, both ducks and geese, and we used to go out and feed the ducks. Well, the geese would come in and they try to first of all get the ducks out of there because they want the bread, right?
Right.
The second thing they do is anything that's smaller than them or the same height, they will go after. Well, my sister was the same height at the time because she's little. She's 4 or 5 years old. And if they think that you're anywhere near their babies, they attack. So the mama goose goes right for my sister Steph. And what do? I step in and go, make a move, you motherfucker. And my fist up, right? I wasn't going to punch the goose, but all you got to do is just make a move like you're going to attack it and it runs off. But this thing was going to go after my sister and take an eye. Again, geese are the asshole of the animal kingdom. And I know this. And at the time, I'm a teenager. You know, you just know certain things. Now, there's no other animal in the animal kingdom that would do that. deer, when they come up and feed, don't go after you if you're smaller.
Right.
They just go up to the bucket. Because my grandfather had a deer feeding stand, like it's about a 3-foot box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Raccoons don't do that. They just eat. Chipmunks don't do that. They just eat. Squirrels don't do that. They just eat. Geese, oh, they'll go after you. David now hopes the incident will serve as a warning to others engaging with wildlife in public spaces. Our main concern is being able to get a warning out here to the public, especially to the senior community. I think he didn't finish the sentence, that geese are assholes.
Yeah.
But, but I wish his mother the best of luck and Godspeed.
Yeah.
We're praying for her to make a complete recovery. But yeah, you think you had a bad week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor lady.
Yeah. It's just too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad. So anywho, that's how we end the week.
Mm-hmm.
Could be worse. Things could be worse in your world.
That is true. That is true.
See? Could be worse. That's for sure. What's going on in your world now? I mean, I take it you're not attacked by geese.
That is true.
Yeah.
And I'm not breaking any hips or anything, so we're all good there.
Right. Yeah, don't break a hip, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be horrible.
Yeah. Just doing holiday stuff, and I'm getting ready. I'm coming to Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm coming to Minnesota to celebrate the holiday. Well, I'm not there for like Christmas because I got to be back in Michigan for Christmas, but I'm coming the week before Christmas.
Nice.
So yeah, I will be in the great state of Minnesota
Excellent.
shortly. Yeah. What's up with you? What's happening for you?
Well, let's see what's happening here. You know, as we go through December here, we're planning a few things for the big 20th anniversary. That's what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, I'm just rubbing my hands and planning. That's all I've got going on here. But yeah, planning.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we got going on here. But that's what I got going on here.
Okay.
But yeah, getting things ready for the holidays and
Mhm.
and getting some interesting guests in here for the remainder of December. And what
Nice.
we'll have some holiday programming, of course. You were mentioning holiday shows.
Mhm.
Much like with Thanksgiving, we'll have fresh shows for you for the holidays because I know not everybody celebrates the holidays with family. Sometimes you're on your own for the holidays. So your family here for Darkness Radio will have fresh shows for you for the holidays. So looking forward to having fresh shows for you for the holidays. Speaking of fresh shows, tomorrow on the program, Maxim Furyk will be with us. He has an interesting book out there.
Mhm.
It's called The Smurl Haunting. This may be a little controversial. Not gonna lie, Mel.
Wait, Smurls, like as in the house that was haunted? Smurl family?
Yeah, it's called The Smurl Haunting when Ed and Lorraine came to town.
Oh, because they just had that movie, right?
Yeah,
With the Smurls. I
yeah,
just saw that.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I just watched that not too long ago.
yeah. So that's what we'll be talking to Maxim about. Maxim has a few other books out there as well, having to do with Sasquatch and paranormal investigator. So we'll dig into that tomorrow.
Oh,
Could get a little spicy tomorrow on the program.
okay.
Yeah. It'll
Interesting.
be Maxim's first time here on the program, on the big program. So always trying to stir it up a little bit here for you.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be tomorrow. And we got lots of good stuff coming down the pike here on the program here in December. So, but again, if you have a guest that you want to hear from, you can send it in to me, tim@darknessradio.com. So, yeah. And working on some big stuff for January as well.
Cool.
And believe it or not, I have a huge guest coming up for True Crime Tuesday. One that is going to shock you guys. And it may be coming up as soon as this coming Tuesday. That's all.
Well, that's good. They don't have to wait too long.
They won't have to wait too long. But one that you guys will go, are you kidding me? And if you're of my age or Mallie's age, this, let's just put it this way. This particular guest was a boogeyman to you.
Oh.
Yeah. A potential boogeyman to you. In fact, when I was presented with having this guest on the program, I'll put it this way. There's a lot of interviewers that said no to this guest. But I'm going to interview him. In fact, I was talking to our good friend Alan Warren this past weekend, who asked me, are you going to have him on? I said, yeah. And he said, really? Because I said no.
Oh.
I tried to talk him into doing the interview. I said, because
people are turning him down, but you said yes.
But I said yes. I said, because I
loves
loves a challenge.
Right. He was a boogeyman during our time.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. I loves a challenge, guys. So,
right. Yeah, you do.
I think you guys are going to be intrigued.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tease you with that today. What do you think of that?
Okay.
Yeah. So tomorrow, Maxim Furyk on the big show. And big surprises this month. So, yeah. I love doing that. I love doing this. You do. Yeah, you guys have no idea. I love coming up with good stuff for you guys. So, yeah. Yep. So that'll do it for today. Again, I want to remind you guys, if you're listening to the show, you're not watching the show, the video is available on either the original Darkness Radio on YouTube, or you can go to darknessradioshow.com, and both the video and audio are married under the subject that you're looking for or the show heading that you're looking for. Also, make sure your Darkness Radio Apple app is updated, and everything is updated there with iOS 26 being out there. What else? Working on Darkness Radio merchandise. That should be hopefully up here, I'm thinking, before the holiday. So that's T-shirts, sweatshirts, stuff like that. So that's going to be the next thing that we're working on. So hopefully within the next week or so, working on it. So, but we'll let you know when that's out and about. So look to our social media and look to darknessradioshow.com at the shop section. So those are the things we're working on. All right. Cool. So that'll do it for today. For Mallie Fox and Tim Dennis, thank you so much for continuing to watch and listen to the best in paranormal podcasting. If you love what you're watching, like and subscribe. If you love what you're listening to, please go give us a 5-star review and be sure to tell a friend or a family member and let them know that you love listening to the best in paranormal podcasting. We'll see you tomorrow for Maxim Furyk right here on Darkness Radio.
For more audio and video archives of the show, intriguing content, fun events, and cool swag, check out darknessradioshow.com. The executive producer of Darkness Radio is Troy Palmer. If you enjoyed today's program, make sure you like and subscribe. This videocast is copyrighted for the private use of the audience. Any other use of this videocast, including pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the show, is prohibited without the consent of Darkness Radio Management. Thank you for watching, and be sure to join us tomorrow for the Smurl Haunting with Maxim Furyk.